All right, let's see. Auto start is enabled. There we go.
Ah, there it is.
Haha. And Bob can hear the music. Oh, and I can hear myself back in through it. Hi, Ron. We're now here. 2 minutes early. Since we started about 5 minutes, it's always kind of
I was gonna say early. No,
Yeah.
we're like 6 minutes early, right?
Yeah, right. That's the thing.
It took me like 10 seconds to start seeing it after you guys saw it.
Internet? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's still magic to me anyway.
The lazy speed of light.
The lazy speed of light. I don't know. Let's see. I think that's all set. That's all set. All right, that should be set. I'm going to say it off the stream. This one's going to go fast. Short meeting this week.
So.
Should be just fine because I have to go integrate a bunch of stuff. I like this little song.
We don't
you guys
hear the music.
Yeah, I know you guys can't hear it. I wonder if there's a way I can pump it back into Skype.
Oh, don't mess with it. Don't mess with it.
No, not right now. But maybe sometime I'll try.
Mess with audio settings. No.
Not right now.
Well, I mean that might be just a general comment.
A general comment. Don't mess with the audio. There's so many more things I can improve though. Like I need to get a clip guard in place so I don't have to worry so much about getting my levels so I don't show up clipping. All right, I think that's all set. Can let that roll. All right. Ron's here, that's awesome. 3 concurrent viewers. I don't know how to, the YouTube thing feels very strange. I never know to trust really how many people are out there or whatnot. Let's go ahead and bring up that so people know why we're here. Yay! All right, so we're essentially in our usual wait for Jacob time. This is the patented wait for Jacob time. No, trademarked wait for Jacob time. Something like that. Yeah. Oh, Bob, I remembered mentioning something about, hey, maybe you could, we're not prepared for this. Maybe some next meeting? I don't know. When's the next meeting? You were playing with Sandbox to run the unit tests.
Like, Rob, what?
Let me finish a sentence,
point,
huh? Yes.
What
Rob.
point are you going to make before you start talking about the schedule of it? Yes, Sandbox. Yeah, unfortunately, I decided to partially rewrite the blog post that it started as. Because I'm like, wait, I don't want to just say copy and paste these files. And I'm like, oh, where can I put these files? And then it occurred to me, GitHub works great for getting files.
Or should we check them in to WiX?
Well, so that was where I started. I'm not quite there yet just because truthfully, as I started rewriting this thing, I'm like, you know what this really needs is a little, C# console app that, takes these templated files and plugs in things like, your WiX build directory and the directory where you want to point your sandbox. And I'm like, I should really do that. And I'm like, no, you'll never publish this thing if you keep adding to the feature list. And then, of course, I didn't actually accomplish my goal of publishing it, but it's kind of like, yeah, but the other problem is I still have the failing tests to investigate. I was ready to publish even with failing tests just to, get it out there and update it later. But certainly before I check into WiX, I would want to investigate those failures and see if they're something specific to the sandbox environment.
So maybe next meeting meeting, we could
Yeah.
maybe try to put together something so we could like show something. That's next level audio technical type work, but
Well, no, because
video,
well, no.
audio, video.
You can do it if I get the instructions right.
Oh yes, that's right. I could
Yeah, and
definitely
we
present.
could even start from here. Go clone this repo.
Right. Okay.
And yeah.
All right. Something to think about.
Yeah, I would. I was hoping to be able to do it today, but life and whatnot.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Nope.
Everybody in my house is not everybody, but all my kids are down with COVID. So, well, not all of them. One of them is just sick. The other one is out with COVID. So it's like, talk about messing up everything.
Yep. But only one, right?
One. The other one we've just decided is just sick.
Okay.
We cannot get her to pass a test or to fail the test, which I don't know which way it is.
Yeah.
So it's just this. I guess she's just sick.
Wow.
Kind of thing.
That's still a thing. Cool.
Well, yeah, it's essentially the same, except you don't get the known quarantine rules, where the other one has known quarantine rules. This is what you do for this many days, and yada yada yada, and do not see friends. Although one of his very good friends nearby also got COVID, so they were out kicking the soccer ball around last night with masks on, just chilling. It's such a mess.
I was gonna say, wow, that's kind of weird, but you think about it, it's like, oh well, so I guess it's actually kind of cool because that way they can play with each other.
Right. Yeah. They're an exclusive group.
Yeah. No, you can't play in our game.
For your own
We're
good.
too cool.
All right, Jacob's not here. I think we're gonna call this. Get this show on the road, and gotta get the intro straight in my head. And hopefully Jacob shows up. And like I said, I'm hoping this meeting goes quick. So, oh no, my button didn't work. That's kind of sad. All right, we'll try it this way.
Your Stream Deck button.
Yeah, my stream back button didn't work. So we'll push the next one. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the WiX Online Meeting 238. We're basically halfway through the year, I think, right? 623. Yeah, over halfway. Wow. This year is flying. Hey, this meeting is recorded for those of you that aren't with us right here, right now, so you can watch it if you are watching this. And those of you that are with us right here, right now, go ahead and say hi. It'd be great. Ron's always said hi. It's great to have you here, Ron. And anybody else that's hanging out in the chat, say hi. We're very happy you're here. We're going to triage today. We don't have a ton of things to triage. I'm hoping that goes quickly. And then we'll do anything that people want to talk about. Hey, we have a Jacob. So if Ron and Jacob have anything they want to talk about, we'll talk about those things second. Otherwise, we might get out of here a little early, which, that can happen. So let's go do triage right now. Bob, you ready?
I am ready.
Here we go. Triage. Triage has 3 issues. One of these is the ones pinned up here. So let's go ahead and start at the top. 6803. Votive has problems installing on 17.2. We got good news this week. After other people have been bouncing on this, the Visual Studio team confirmed this issue was a bug in VS 17.2 and is expected to be fixed in 17.2.5. So I think we can resolve this external and keep it pinned up here, and except maybe we add to the title fixed in 17.2.5.
I can do that.
I think that's probably the thing to say. Oh no, Jacob's right. I think I forgot to send the mail. I'm being pulled in too many different directions. All right, sorry. Yes. Well, you know what? This is a fantastic turnout. We have Ron, Jacob, and Zach, despite me forgetting to send the mail. So hey, great. Glad you guys made it, despite the old world email notification. Anyway. So I think that's hopefully the resolution to all of the V6 things that plagued us for a while.
Well, some of them.
Yeah, at least until they break us again. It's very frustrating to have the Visual Studio installer break an installation project, because
Especially ours.
There's so little that we can do to fix it. It's just frustrating. All right. Copy and modify instructions not working for WiX UI Advanced and minimal. Bob, this is more kind of your area than.
Yeah, the instructions aren't great, I will say. They're probably more vague than they could be. Yeah.
So we take this in for X or something to say maybe we make it better. Display internal UI equals false. Fixed. Jacob is definitely bought into the burn as the UI.
Well, this one is the actual, just the normal WiX UI. Whether it's being used in a bundle, I don't know.
Yeah.
But this one is. I don't entirely agree with the premise of the issue. The same issue exists in multiple sets.
Yeah, the error messages are not great if you don't get this just right. There's no doubt about that.
No, it's worse than that. It's very easy to get something that builds, but it doesn't work at runtime, which is kind of the worst case scenario.
Yeah, I guess that's.
But
worse.
Yeah, this is a doc bug. I would agree. The particular problem is not well communicated in the doc. Put it that way. But that same problem exists with all the sets. That's my my only issue with the actual bug.
So it is a doc bug. Where do we put it? I have no strong feelings on this.
4X.
I guess I made that vote already. Bob, we're both kind of like, how about this?
I mean, we've punted. Generally, we've pushed doc bugs into the web milestone, which I've never liked. But I don't see a huge bit of difference between that and 4X.
True.
Yeah, let's do 4X, and I will take it.
Oh, all right. Doc bug and away. All right. So someone is jumping on the early train of Visual Studio ARM, which I think only came out like in the last month or so.
Oh yeah.
If it's a doc bug, docs can be updated after the fact, right? Well, all right, let's talk about that real quick. So Jacob brings up a point of doc bugs. One of the problems in 3 is that the docs are built into the chum. The chum is part of the build. It is the build process that publishes that over to the web, and then the web just holds it. So I mean, we can go and edit the website without updating the chum, and then slowly drift, I suppose. But we have a whole doc problem for 4 that we will have to tackle at some point, and we're not tackling that now or today. So it is a thing that we do need to tackle. But all right, so it's a doc bug. If we're going to fix it in 4 time frame, it will end up being a web-only thing. All right. So.
Well, yeah, especially now, all doc bugs are web bugs, but that wasn't the.
That was not the case in all 3.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So this is interesting. The thing that I added is that we actually got a message at FireGiant from the Visual Studio team after they made the announcement, I think, which was a little weird the way this whole thing happened. There was no discussion about it, and then suddenly it appeared. And then they're like, oh, we probably should tell extension providers this. Anyway, this is all very experimental. this ARM stuff in Visual Studio. Experimental. It's experimental. It's preview.
Preview,
They're
yeah.
playing with it, and they don't expect extensions to work at this point, and it's not even clear how you block at this point. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of things that are still coming, and they've had no information. I don't know what we do with this issue right now, because this isn't like not prepared to be a thing. Visual Studio is not prepared for this issue to exist. I think is probably the way to handle it. So we aren't either. I don't know what else to say.
I'm confused, concerned, surprised, given that they introduced ARM64 support in a point release of 17.3, right? Of version 17, and traditionally we're at 17.2.5. Traditionally, we don't get more than about that before they move the minor point release to be the current point release. In other words, I expect 17.3 to come out pretty quickly. So it seems really weird that they're like, yeah, no extensions, whatever, they don't work.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I don't really understand the whole strategy. The whole thing is mostly a mystery. I'll be honest. There's not real any clarity of what their intent is here, or why they chose to do it this way. It's not at all like the x64 was, which is actually what they say in here. So I don't know what to do with this issue. We stick it in votive, and it sits around until more stuff shows up, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. It's great that someone's on the cutting edge, but I don't know that we needed an issue. I don't know. Whatever. It's like, hey, there might be work here. There might be.
Well,
all right.
Votive is any CPU, so theoretically, the goal. I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought I saw in the ARM64 announcement that the goal was that any CPU would quote unquote just work. But that does require Windows 11. You need .NET Framework 4.8.1, which I don't think they're bringing to Windows 10. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, and Jake's question: do they have a means of detecting disabling extension? There's supposed to be some mechanism they're going to be for detecting that your ARM. I haven't gone searching for the documentation, but when they said they didn't have the documentation when they initially did all this, so it really was like, wait, what if we want to say we don't support ARM? There's usually a way of saying that your extension supports Visual Studios, and it wasn't like quite there yet, or I don't know. So it's like the whole thing's like, all right, whatever, we'll deal with this later. And then someone opened an issue, and you're like, really? Okay, well, other people care about it more than Visual Studio does, I think. It's kind of the way it felt. So, all right, but it's votive, so I don't really care about. I don't plan to fix it. I have things in WiX 4 to go fix, which is another thing on top of all this that I should go back here real quick. One of the points raised, or it looked like the initial issue wasn't even in Visual Studio. I should have brought this up when we were talking about it. But the initial error is like it didn't show up the WiX extension didn't show up in the place where extensions are supposed to show up, but it did show up in Solution Explorer, which means it worked. But when they did a build, it didn't work. And that's where I'm like, okay, we're not going to do work in WiX 3 to make WiX run on ARM64. We will do those kinds of things in 4. We probably should think about what that means now that we know that ARM64 is coming for 4, but it's all going to be in 4 anyway. So, yeah. I was surprised that it worked as well as it did, and we will have things to do in 4. No, we got an email. Microsoft gave us an email, sent an email to all the partners, FireGiant being one of them, and I copied out the snippets of the email that seemed pertinent to this issue. That's what we got. Like I said, the whole thing's very weird. It's just not as nearly as organized as we have seen from Visual Studio in the past. I don't really understand what's going on in the Visual Studio side. It's not been clear, except that it's clear that it's not a big deal to them. I think that's probably what's come through most clearly. Clearly. Anyway, that's it, I think. right? That's today's issues. That'll head off into the votive land, and we will see what happens. All right, going back. Things people want to talk about, going ons and stuff like that. I don't have much other than fixing Wix 4 bugs and doing all the other work at FireGiant that keeps me busy. Plus the sick kids, which has actually disrupted most of the last week, 7 days. That's mostly been my life. I'm kind of filling space. I don't know if Sean, Bob, if you guys have anything, go ahead and jump in. Otherwise, I'm looking to 2 weeks out because that would be the next meeting. That's going to be July, after July 4th. Wow. I mean, wow. All right. So July 7th, I know I said July 4th, but that's just because I was looking ahead, and July 4th is kind of a turning point in the weather up here in the Pacific Northwest. July 4th, it's rainy and cloudy, and then after that, summer starts. All right, so that means we'll be back in 2 weeks. Everybody's quiet out there, so I assume everybody's nice and busy getting all their Wix 4 stuff taken care of. That's what we're doing. And working hard on all the other things that you do. July 7th? Yes? Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I feel like everybody's like waiting for something to happen, and there's not anything to happen. So let's wrap this thing up. 2 weeks, same time, same place, July 7th. I will try to get the email out correctly, but all the other things will be set up right away. We'll be back, and maybe at that time, Bob will have a chance to show us some of the experiments he's been doing with running the Wix integration tests in Sandbox. That would be very cool if that works out, if that fits into that time slot. And yeah, that's it. All right. 2 weeks from now, we'll see all you guys back. This is a nice short meeting. And we will, one thing, we will start doing like Wix 4 issue triages. Probably not in the next 2 meetings, but like August, I'm thinking. That's just what my gut feeling is telling me, that we are going to start looking at all the Wix 4 bugs and start getting talking about those. I know we've only been talking about the new issues, and people might be wondering, where's Wix 4? There's been enough work for us to do on Wix 4. At some point, we need to start looking at it and go, where are we really at Wix 4? So I don't think it'll be the next 2 meetings, because I know I have enough work to get through that. But we will start looking at Wix 4 issues and kind of where we're at, where we're going from there. Probably
like the
beginning of
current
August.
set of issues.
Yeah, like for example, this meeting would be
60.
longer if we sat down and said, hey, let's take a look at all the Wix 4 issues. And we start at the top and start working our way down. Just kind of getting a status of where are we at on all of this. But that list is still too long, and I have hope that I'm going to be able to knock out a lot of it. Because again, I have exactly half of them right now. Although Jacob has 1, and Bob has a quarter, I think.
18.
Yeah, okay. And almost a third. And Sean has been fantastically awesome and has like 3 or something like that.
Well, clearly we know how to rebalance that.
Let's not punish
That's not how
him.
this works.
That's not.
Yeah.
He's
That was a funny joke. That was all serious.
No, it's all good. We'll get there. All right. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. We will do this sort of meeting. It might be another short triage. That would be nice. And then hopefully a Bob presentation. And then we'll talk about the one after that. 2 weeks from now, same time, same place, July 7th. You guys take it easy. Bye.
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 That actually went faster than I thought it would. So I was like going, really, I'm trying to fill space in case people were like, whoa, triage went too fast. I needed more time to type my messages in. But I guess it was all good. Everybody else is like, nah, maybe the weather's getting nice. Or not, whatever. So, Ron, have a good one. All right, that's really all I got. I am going to go back and hit my deadline in early July so that I can get back to focusing really hard on the Wix 4 bugs and hopefully have a dent in those so that when we do walk through all of them, I still don't have half of them Although if I make a big dent in them, that will just drop them, and then I might still have half of them. But at least the number will be smaller. Anyway.
The number will be smaller, but then I'll have a proportionately larger chunk of them, and that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, but you keep threatening that you're going to punt most of yours, so I'm less.
Well, I have a bunch of mine are like I think some of yours, which are we think this is fixed, but we don't want to close it until we have a little bit more confidence that they are fixed.
Yeah, I don't know if I have many of those anymore. I wish I had more of those. But
Oh, okay.
I think most of mine require work at this point.
Yeah.
So I asked the local layout change would that be accepted in Wix? I also had asked the local layout change. Bob, you know what Jacob's talking about? Is that in 4X?
Oops. Sorry. Hold on. I accidentally closed my YouTube window.
The local layout stuff.
Ooh.
All right. We don't have the answer right now, Jacob, but you raise a very good point. We should go solve that problem, whatever the solution is. So
Yeah, I think there are definitely some bits of it that are non-controversial. And yeah, it was just in WiX Standard BA, so it's not an engine change.
it was only in the BA. I thought there was something
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should go talk about that.
Jacob, could you open an issue on that and talk about the specific things that you want that you're interested in? I think it'd be fairly non-controversial. There was some good value there.
I got to ramp up Sean and all of it because he's changed all the stuff around it.
Yeah, I stumble a little bit in WiX Standard BA. I don't have my WiX 4 burn legs yet.
I don't either. There's been enough changes in burn. I still trip across the separation in the elements. That still gets me the XE package and the XE package payload stuff.
Oh, right.
You can see it on my personal stream. I'm constantly tripping over it. I'm like, okay, wait, how does this stick together again? And it's just because I haven't done enough bundle work. I've been so focused on other things. I need to get back through it and glue it all to my head, glue it all together in my head, so I don't have to keep
your head.
Yeah,
That's
no.
different.
I need to put it all together so when I think about it, it's one cohesive thought as opposed to I gotta pull this part, this part, this part. Like when the cache ID had to be on the package element, not on the package payload element, I was like, oh, this is gonna force me to tie all this together real fast. And it was just like, all right. Well, hey, let's watch Rob stumble live while he sorts this all out. And I should have probably planned that better, but oh well. It's software development. That's the purpose of my stream. This is what it's a lot more like this is a lot more what it's like than what it's not like, at least in my world. Putting parts together while you're rolling. All right. We have a half-hour meeting. That's awesome.
It's been a while.
It has. So,
Yeah.
And Jacob does, I'm right, it's Jacob, not John, that has that issue, right? Oh, it's like the reading the old items or the burn items, the previous bundles saved state issue.
Related bundle variable reading thing.
Yeah, that, whatever the title. There's a much better title than what I just
Yeah.
spelled. Dude, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if it's the air. Yeah, the variables. Thank you. If it's the air, but I have not been able to speak lately. It has just been, I've just been stuck with words. Like I have a word I want.
How would the air be responsible?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. I've just, with all the people in quarantine in my house, I don't know what to blame it on. It just doesn't feel normal right now. I think that's actually a lot of it. A lot of things do not feel normal in my world right now, and I'm just trying to keep it all going without going bonkers. So,
That's the trick.
lack of oxygen. Yeah, something. I don't know. Maybe it's too much sunshine. We're starting to get that. No, it's not too much sunshine. I don't know. I really don't have an answer. All right. I'm going to go put together the rest of my schedule for the day and try to get a bunch of things checked off. 2 weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks, guys. Be great to talk to you then. Bye.